Picture this. It's 2006. You turn on OLN, the Outdoor Life Network, and you see two random people running through the Canadian wilderness, being hunted by a cowboy on horseback. They're called the prey. He's called the Mantracker. They have 36 hours to reach a finish line. He has to catch them before they get there. But here's the question nobody asked. How do you hide from a professional tracker when you're being followed by a 3-person HD camera crew? The answer is, you don't. You just get caught by a grumpy cowboy who's mad you made his horse walk through a marsh. This is the logic of Mantracker, the show that proved you don't need prize money to be legendary. You just need a mustache and a horse. Welcome to the most accidentally hilarious, bizarrely entertaining, and quintessentially Canadian reality show ever made. It took itself completely seriously, and that's exactly what made it so funny. Today, we're celebrating the absurdity, the fails, and the pure chaos of Mantracker. Let's go. Mantracker aired on OLN from 2006 to 2012. The premise was beautifully simple. 2 contestants, the prey, get dropped somewhere in the Canadian wilderness. They have a map, a destination, and 36 hours to reach a finish line on foot. Meanwhile, Terry Grant, a real-life expert tracker and cowboy, along with a local guide on horseback, hunts them down. If the prey reaches the finish line without getting caught, they win. If Mantracker catches them before they get there, he wins. That's it. That's the entire show. No $1 million prize, no immunity challenges, no tribal councils, just 2 people trying not to get caught by a guy on a horse. And somehow, this format produced 6 seasons of absolute gold, not because it was dramatic or high stakes, but because it was unintentionally hilarious in the best possible way. Let's start with the obvious. The entire concept of Mantracker was absurd. First, the terminology. The show called regular people, fitness instructors, office workers, random Canadians, the prey. And they'd introduce them with stats like they were Olympic athletes. But it would be like name, Gary, occupation, IT consultant, strengths, can hold a plank for 30 seconds, weaknesses, asthma, and a fear of ferns. Meanwhile, Terry Grant would loom in the distance on his horse like some kind of wilderness villain. It created this bizarre, darkly comedic vibe. Second, the camera crew paradox. This is the part that broke everyone's brains. The prey were supposedly hiding and evading detection, except they had a full camera crew following them around with giant shoulder-mounted HD cameras. The show essentially asked us to believe that Terry, a man who could literally track a bent blade of grass from 50 yards away, somehow couldn't see a guy in a neon vest holding a 20-pound Sony camera standing 3 feet behind the contestants. Fans constantly joked, the easiest way to find the contestants is to look for the guys with the cameras. And they were right. There's footage of Terry literally spotting the camera crew first, then finding the contestants. The show just never addressed this. It was part of the charm. Third, the stakes, or rather, the complete lack of stakes. American reality TV offered $1 million prizes, cars, dream vacations. Mantracker offered you nothing, just bragging rights. The satisfaction of knowing you outsmarted a cowboy. And people still tried so hard. That's what made it beautiful. Now, let's talk about the contestants, because this is where Mantracker became comedy gold. The horse track shoes. In one episode, a contestant had a brilliant idea. Wear shoe covers designed to look like horse tracks. The logic was that it would confuse Mantracker into thinking it was just another horse. The result? The footprints became massive and incredibly easy to follow. Terry just looked at them, looked at the camera, and kept riding. The contestant was caught almost immediately. The predator, musk. Another team decided to spray Predator Musk, a scent designed to spook wild animals, to scare Terry's horse and buy themselves time. It worked. Sort of. The horse didn't like it. But here's the problem. Now, the contestants smelled terrible. And they'd created a scent trail that was even easier to follow. Terry was annoyed, not because the tactic worked, but because he had to dismount and track them on foot. And when Terry Grant got off his horse to track you, personally, you were done. The squirt guns. Yes, squirt guns. A team actually brought squirt guns to try to spook the horse. I don't need to tell you how well that worked. The finish line sprints. Some of the most painful moments involved contestants getting caught within 50 yards of the finish line. They'd been successfully evading Terry for 35 hours, and then, in a moment of panic, they'd start sprinting across an open field. Terry's horse would just casually outrun them, every time. You could see the hope drain from their faces as hoofbeats got closer. Here's what made Mantracker feel distinctly Canadian compared to American reality TV. No grand prize. American shows, win $1 million, a car, a tropical vacation. Mantracker. Win the pride of knowing you evaded the Mantracker. That's it. That's the prize. And Canadians were totally fine with that. The editing. American reality shows thrive on manufactured drama, confessionals, betrayals, villain editing, strategic alliances. Mantracker focused on the technicality of tracking. It felt like a nature documentary, where the animals were people in windbreakers. The narration was dramatic. The prey has made a critical error, but the show itself was straightforward. There were no confessionals, where contestants trash-talked Terry. No dramatic music stings when someone stepped on a branch. Just tracking. The wholesomeness. Despite the predator versus prey framing, Mantracker was weirdly wholesome. Terry wasn't mean. The contestants weren't backstabbing each other. Everyone was just trying their best. And when someone got caught, in American shows, getting caught involves tears, dramatic music, and an emotional exit interview. On Mantracker, it usually ended with the contestants saying, "Oh, you got us, eh? Good job, Terry." And Terry nodding back like they just bumped into each other at a Tim Hortons. It was competitive without being cruel, intense without being toxic, very Canadian, no catchphrase. Jeff Probst had "The Tribe Has Spoken." Donald Trump had "You're fired." Terry Grant, he'd just ride up to the contestants, look at them, and they'd know they were caught. No dramatic one-liner. No theatrical reveal. Just quiet acknowledgement. Yep, gotcha. Mantracker ended in 2012 after 6 seasons. Terry Grant retired from the show, and Chad Lenz took over as the new Mantracker for a brief period, but it wasn't quite the same. The show developed a cult following. People loved it not despite its absurdity, but because of it. The low stakes, the bizarre contestant strategies, Terry's deadpan reactions, it all created something genuinely entertaining. And it proved something important. You don't need a massive budget or manufactured drama to make good reality TV. You just need an interesting premise, authentic people, and the Canadian wilderness. Mantracker also spawned international versions. The format was sold to other countries, but the Canadian original remained the gold standard. Today, clips of Mantracker live on YouTube, where new generations discover the show and ask the same question we all did. Wait, is this real? Did people actually try to use squirt guns on a horse? Yes, they did. If you watched Mantracker, drop a comment. What's the most ridiculous contestant fail you remember? Do you remember Magnus and his Tai Chi, the horse track shoes, the predator musk? And be honest, did you ever think you could evade Terry Grant? Because I guarantee you couldn't. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Canadian TV nostalgia. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.